Good morning or good evening, wherever you may be. TerryLynn and I will present some poetry.
We'll take note cards from the crowd and read them aloud.
So, if you wish for your work to be read by me or TerryLynn, pass it to us, and we'll let poetry begin. Would you like to go first?
Lines by a Nassau poet right here, Miss Dosh Quartz. Said to me, "We're all a bunch of lines." Showed me a picture of his handsome avatar, created from unnumbered straight lines radiating in every direction. He seemed to be talking about our construction of this alternate reality called Second Life. But on reflection, it seems maybe he was telling me something else I needed to absorb. We're all made of lines. Pretty lines, comforting lines, straight lines, tender lines, eventually broken lines. But he threw me a lifeline, strands of truth braided with flattery and lust, oh yes, lust, pulling me from a state of disrepair. He may be made of lines, but as long as they are linked to me, I'll follow them to the place where smiles live in happy linear suspension. Thank you, Stosh.
I can hear the rain in Chicago from my box room in Scandinavia. My internet connection ensures that sitting still is still my behavior. Virtual worlds contain me. What is new is always the bait. And when someone special online may communicate, I sit and wait. Satellite networks enclose us, a new layer to the atmosphere. Being watched is the feeling it shows us. 'Twas God, now it's technology here. Hello, woman in Chicago, with your voice and your life and your trials. Go and close your window, then come back so I can listen to your smiles.
By Hope Merriman, God's Song. Let me hold you in my mind. Even as you slip away, let there be white space like 1,000 prayers where you gutter at the center of me. Let me not forsake you. Absent though you be, make a rosary of my skeleton, 1,000 beads from my poems, sling them around your neck and hang your hopes from them. Dangle footwise from my affection until you realize that never have I meant for you to suffer. Escape that noose, then let my lift to make unto you your own. The God we don't believe in is shining through my morning window, so bright she half occludes the tree that bursts her unto me, but half is only half. All around her edges, dark dawn leaves assert themselves like a holy trinity of sky and love and space. I swear to God, the sun she dimmed for 15 long seconds as I wrote these words, as if she were shining beneath the weight of her terrible responsibility, and then she rose like a phoenix and broke free of everything, even me. Wow, thank you, Hope. Snow Day by Huckleberry Hax. I'm going to give this one a shot. Here we go. On Snow Day, the internet gets turned off. We look up the frequency of local radio, tune in for the first time in 18 years, and attend to the list of schools shut. Tut. And elderly listeners phoning to say a bit of snow never stopped the world from turning in their time, and your money was safe in the banks back then, too. We assess the road in thin light, make our minds up, call in to work. We await exclamations and hurried feet on the stairs. Out in the street, the neighbors are talking, making out like we actually know each other. Did you hear some guy drove into one of the holes they're digging in the road? We spread the word, we head on down, passed by a rescue truck. At the yellow tape, we spend time discussing it with our fellow strangers. There are those who talk about the lost art of breaking. Others assert it was a hole just waiting to be filled with something. And maybe they should have thought about the forecast before digging it. The boy watches the crane at work. Just the other day, I was driving him back from gymnastics when some idiot on the radio started talking about hoof prints he used to press for his son at Christmas in the night. It's too much to ask for a little thought on a Saturday afternoon. Did they just assume no child in the land will be listening? He's not the only man in the world who noticed an extra use for the rim of a grand cappuccino mug. Luckily, just then, a white van in the oncoming traffic cut across me. I was able to cover up the revelation with loud cursing, tossed in a CD whilst I swore. Even so, we avoided looking in each other's direction after that. I got told last year it's time I stopped trying to prolong magic now, except that 9-year-olds don't need to believe that anymore. But today, on snow day, he declares himself my personal plow, instructs me to walk behind in the path he clears, makes engine noises with his lips, sings, he rolls a giant ball of snow together, he plays until the night light is nearly gone. We take a nighttime walk and look over fences, complain about unused snow going to waste. There's a snowman in our garden who could use some of that. We chat. The snow day has blown open a closing door, and I'm grateful. Let me watch. Let me look at him one more time like this, as I always thought he would remain. Wow, thank you, Hax. That's beautiful. Thank you.
One is entitled Love Song to Autumn by TerryLynn. The first tinge of gold at the edges of the willow tree bring the idea of autumn and the crisp apples, blush dropping from the tree, languishing for the harvest. The autumn of life is the best season, the fruit so ripe and willing, knowledge dripping off the vine. Truth lives in this golden time, when lies are no longer necessary, free to love what lives, a cold shoulder to death. Sitting back, sipping the cool tea, commenting on the winter, we bathe in life. And don't look towards the pain that is coming. Titled Corwyn by Sabreman Carter. I have a friend who reads and writes, and shares his poetry in the night, and far across the coldest sea he is no stranger to you or me, and when he shares a verse or two, he lifts us up with what he says, and rocks the poetic world no less, from Shakespeare's Two Gentlemen of Verona, to As You Like It or The Tempest, and The Merry Wives of Windsor. Measure for measure, the comedy of errors, becomes Much Ado About Nothing, and all the ladies swoon for you, in love's labours lost. Or would you have A Midsummer Night's Dream, or perhaps The Taming of the Shrew? Would be just for you. Corwyn, you rock of poetic verse and rhyme, a poetic rhythm in our time. Evidently new haiku by Clanix Northmead entitled Moon. Water found on moon, amphibians are happy, roomy pond for sale,